This Marie was Falter Road Goody Portia Croky. I'm joined by Cork All-Ireland winner Sean O'Halpine and former Waterford manager Derek McGrath. And we are preparing now to listen to Centra's All-Ireland preview. Well, it's slightly less than 2 days now until the two teams be facing each other here. What thoughts would you have, Sean, ahead of the game now?
Unfortunately, All-Ireland final day, yes, you have a game, but you're part of a bigger arena that goes on, and then trying to deal with the occasion, but concentrating on the game more importantly.
Now, you've managed a team that played against all the good counties. What are your thoughts now about what will happen here on Sunday?
Between minds, I suppose. The experience garnered by Galway over the last number of years, you'd say that's advantage to them. And it's you balance that with the dynamic, the kind of exuberance of the Limerick team in terms of the freshness they'll bring. I think it'll be their first time playing an All-Ireland final as a group, if you like.
Now, Galway have the medals in the pocket since last year.
They do.
Could that lessen, the drive to win an All-Ireland, because you already have won?
I'd say Galway will be happy enough that they've survived, tough games. They've got to the final now, and then basically let the pressure go on Limerick now.
You're expecting they'll step it up a lot.
I do. I think there's one big performance in this team before I think next year is probably going to be the downside or the down peak, so I do expect a big performance from Galway.
I've had a lot of people say that Limerick of the current time, they're different to Limerick teams of the past. What does that mean?
Anyone looking from afar always associate Limerick with kind of passion, I think. Their supporters, whether it's rugby, whether it's GAA, they always associate passion, kind of hip to hip, kind of get it, hit it. So I think structurally there's a slight change, almost like Sean Oak's team, Donald O'Grady's team in terms of keeping the ball, looking for the right option to hit it in when it's hit in, and mixing that up greatly, being able to go long down on Galan's head, being able to go long on Shamie Flanagan's head, but also keeping the ball, the influence of Paul Kinnerk very obvious there. So I think that's the difference. They're thinking, but they're still combining that with, a fierce tackle rate and fierce intensity. So I think there's a good mix in terms of what they're doing.
So you're happy with the road they have taken?
Personally myself, I would have preferred probably, which Limerick have got, a 3-week kind of leading into the All-Ireland final, because basically the stuff that you could ratchet up, like probably the week before you kind of taper down, the 2 weeks leading up to it, Galway fellas wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that. So I don't think they've had probably more time as they would have liked to kind of review and kind of analyse stuff, or probably get to do last minute stuff on the training ground. So I'd imagine Limerick will probably have an advantage in that way.
Gerard McInerney didn't play in the semi-final. How vital is he to the Galway team, centre back?
Yeah, I think it's twofold, Micheál. I think he frees up Joseph Cooney, who was a vital member of their half-forward line in terms of the role he plays, almost as an auxiliary wing back at times. And I think he just gives a solidity to the defence.
Now, we took to the streets of Limerick and Galway earlier in the week to find out how the fans felt about this big game that's coming up on Sunday.
I think Galway will win it because they'll be more composed and they're used to the big stage.
Good team now this year, good all players now. Hopefully Garage will be back.
I think their offense is explosive. I think they can score from anywhere. I think experience and youth, the mix has been a good combination.
Hopefully they do it now 2 in a row this year.
Quality hurling in the country is amazing. I think it's just clicking for Galway at the moment.
Limerick can keep hurling to the end, and Galway can kind of get tired after the first half.
I think they have the heart, they have the youth, and overall they have the skill.
We're all the one age, that no old fellas tell them what to do and what not to do.
Look, Limerick have been good enough to make it to the final, and so have Galway. Like you said, they're older, so hopefully being young comes into our advantage as well.
They're winning underage, they're winning at minor, they're winning at 21s. They don't have the fear of the Galways and Kilkennys and Tipperaries.
It'll be a great match, there's no doubt about it.
You're going yourself?
I am. I got a ticket.
Derek, has that any effect on your mind, hearing those voices?
A motley crew anyway, I can tell you that. Some good analytical, analysis there from different facets of people, if you like, and I think there's an American chap in there as well. Talked about the offense and so I think and the defense, if you like. So look, that's what it's all about. I think it's capturing the imagination of everyone, and well represented in those, you know, Vox Pops.
I just got the hint from the voices of Galway that they're been there before, they're confident of like kind of doing it again. Whether rightly or wrongly, I could be wrong, but I just got the feeling from the Limerick voices like that they're happy to be there, they've got there, but they're hoping.
Who will accept the Lee McCarthy Cup?
Yeah, well look, I'll go for Galway, Captain, and I'll try and explain why. The one thing I will say is that Galway's, I think there's a bit of Kilkenny about Galway. I think there's a bit of Kilkenny about Galway. I think they're lapping up this week saying it's all about Limerick, it's all about the freshness we have in the legs, and I think Mayo Hall will have them primed for war.
I reckon history will repeat itself, that the last time Galway did back-to-back, 87, 88, I reckon that'll be repeated. I know this is no good to Limerick people, they will win the All-Ireland, but I don't think it'll be this year.
So there we have it. Both Derek and Sean Og, they're ready now to sing the West Awake.